This is like my take 5 here. I don't know why it's taking me so many tries just to get started. And like, I never edit these for content. I just start them a few times sometimes. So I am Jen, and in 2 days I will be officially, question mark, 3 years cancer free. Today's a Sunday, and I'm obviously working this week, so I figured I would do a vlog today because Tuesday is probably going to be weird. The optimism I have right now probably won't be there. And I wanted to do a kind of a sitting back. Oh, this angle is not fun. I'm still not in the body image place right now, so it's good to have a stuffed giraffe laying around to cover my belly. Yeah, so wanted to fill you in on where I am, what's going on. I have new neighbors, and they either have a child or some very bizarre pet because they're loud. And I can't figure out what the sound is. So hopefully that won't impact my audio. Yeah, so a lot of reflection hitting 3 years. When I say cancer-free, I base that on my surgery date from my double mastectomy. These are not real. And I don't mind, actually, and it's partly why I stayed in this outfit, because I still feel disconnected from these. So like, you know, even to do that, like, oh, I'm showing cleavage. To me, it's not even like cleavage. It's like it's the result of surgery. I know that will probably come with time. I'm just not there. I haven't, I need, not need, sort of need a third surgery, like a second reconstruction revision. I had a revision last, so my original double mastectomy, or the double mastectomy, sorry, wording is not easy today because I'm in a really good place today. But when I start talking about cancer related things, just a lot pops up, and especially when you hit, you know, anniversaries of things pop up, and sometimes the vocabulary is just not there because my mind is like in another zone that it wants to go into. So my diagnosis was July 9th of 2021. My surgery, my double mastectomy, I'm pretty sure was August 20th of 2021. It's so funny, I don't remember the date. There's a lot of things in August that are like milestone-y things for me, not related to cancer at all, so it's hard to sometimes keep the dates right. Like August 18th was my wedding anniversary, so the dates kind of, oh wow, that's today. Ha, how funny is that? I've been divorced for 10 years. And this is actually my 10-year divorce anniversary. So a lot going on. So yeah, the double mastectomy was August of 2021, and then January of 2023, I had a reconstruction revision on my left side. My largest tumors were on my right side, like right here. I'll come back to that in a minute. Even as I move, see how well shapen that is? My implants are over the muscle, by the way. Breast cancer survivors might be curious about how all that works. My left side started like migrating this way. Not weirdly, I'm exaggerating with that, but it was migrating over. And when I laid back, I could feel like a divot. I still feel it. I actually felt it this morning. It was like a little divot that you feel, that like you put your finger by your breastbone and then it just kind of scooped in. And that was weirding me out because it just reminds me all the time that I don't really have boobs. These are silicone 3-dimensional discs that are like sewn into my body. That's what I consider my boobs right now, or have been. But the scar, so I had skin sparing double mastectomy. They could not save my nipples because my tumor was my smaller tumor was too close to my nipple. It's even funny using that word because I don't have them anymore. It's just odd. It's weird. And then, yeah, so my scars go straight across. I don't even know if you can see them. Now you're gonna look, but whatever. So my scars go straight across. And where the end of the scar was here, like when you're sewing anything, the end is kind of square-ish with the skin. And then it was like rubbing up against a nerve or something. So I think they dealt with that, and then they moved the alloderm like over and up, or the sling or whatever over and up, and then my left side was fine. My right side, I'm starting to have that same sensation like in the middle here, not really with the divot, but where there's like a little bit of nerve pain here, and I'm 3 years out, so that's a long time. But I went to plastics, and you can go in for as many surgeries as you want, but it's a big deal to go in for surgeries, because then you go back to having T-Rex arms, and it's surgery. Like, even if it's a revision, it's still surgery, and you're down for the count, and it's a lot on your body. I don't want to focus too much on that right now, because I can't have another surgery for a while. And you can rewind out. I don't want to get into this too much, because I want today to be kind of about the 3 year stuff and hone in on that. I had an MRI. I have a lump. I need to do this for posterity, because I still don't know what it is. I have a lump right there. Right there is a lump. That was not there before. 2 doctors told me it was always there and I didn't notice. I'm like, really? Because I never touched this section. Really? After you've had a telemastectomy or breast cancer, you touch this section a lot. And there's a bump there, and that bump was not there before. It's very distinct. It's right here. My understanding is it's my xiphoid process, which sounds like an activity, but it's actually a part of the bottom of your sternum. And yes, I have one. I think everyone has one, but it was not protruding as much as it is now. I had an MRI done. The MRI did not show any cancer here, but the MRI did show enhancement and coloration here, which was like, surprise. I was not expecting that. Again, they're not sure what it is. They mess around with stupid frickin' adjectives. Like, if it's suspicious, of course, that makes you think that it's going to be the C word again. They think it's just scar tissue, but I'm going in for another MRI in a few months. They wanted to wait 6 months and re-image to see what's going on. I'm not even thinking about this right now as to what this is, because if it is the C word again, I will deal with it when it comes. There's nothing I can do about it right now anyway. They're obviously keeping an eye on it. I'm still more concerned about what the heck this thing is. But it seems like that's not an oncology thing, so no point for the vlog, I guess. Yeah, but the 3 year thing, so plastics does not want to do any surgeries if there's something going on here. So that's why doing the revision here is paused, because, they don't want me to cut into anything if there's something going on. So my closure, I guess pun intended, with the surgeries and stuff, and like making sure my boobs look like just right, they can like round them off a little bit and do these little, little things to make slight corrections so they look more, I don't know, to me they just still seem like science projects. When the doctors see them, they're like, oh, you did such a great job. And I know they're not just saying that to appease me, I hope, but that's just not how I feel. That's not where I am right now. It's just frustrating that like, I wanted to just get the last reconstruction revision done and then like get my nipples tattooed on and be done. And I haven't gotten the nipple tattoos done because I wanted to have my own tattoo first, and I did, which I've shown in other vlogs. I had a tiger lily put on my wrist and finally got that done. So I'm like, okay, I can get the nipple tattoos. And they're like, oh no, wait, you can't. So that I'm trying to be optimistic, and I wanted to focus on today were the things that have like put me or that have helped me through all of this, that have put me in a place of looking positively towards things. One of which is decaf coffee. I don't really drink caffeinated coffee. Rarely do I. I drink decaf coffee. I meant to bring it over, and it's over there. I'm not getting up. But there's this coffee called I don't know the brand. The type is called Calm. They have Calm and they have Flow, not that kind of Flow. But it's less like acidic and stuff, and it's just it's smoother and it's nice. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about today, like the things that have brought me peace and healing physically and mentally during all this crazy. Aside from the cancer, if you've been following my vlogs, there's been a lot of other shit going on, and I intentionally sat in this chair because of one of the things that was going on when my apartment got flooded. So, yeah, when I was diagnosed with COVID, oh my gosh, when I was diagnosed with cancer, it was during the COVID pandemic. So that was complicated. Even when I had my surgery done, like that was complicated with COVID. And visitors and how long do they want you in the hospital? They wanted it to be a day procedure. I'm like, are you smoking crack? What? Like, I had no idea how involved it was, really. Unfortunately, breast cancer is like, I don't want to say common, but it happens a lot percentage wise, to the point that I feel like some people are like, oh, well, if you don't need chemo and radiation, you're just fine. And I'm very, very grateful, don't get me wrong. I did not need chemo or radiation. My oncotype score was low enough that chemo would not have had any increased benefit. That when they did the surgery and removed my boobs, the margins were clear. They took out 6 lymph nodes from this side and a 7th piece, which I meant to ask what that 7th thing was, but I was distracted with the bump that I didn't ask. I can shoot it in the gateway or something. And they took 2 lymph nodes off of this side. And they say, like, you can't take blood pressure with my right arm, you can't take labs from my right arm, can't do anything with my right arm because I've had all those lymph nodes removed. And they were all clear. I'm still not quite sure why she removed 6 of them. My breast surgeon's no longer there. She moved to a different state. But I don't know why she took out 6. Usually they take out your sentinel, or they check your sentinel node, which is the first one right before your armpit. And if that's clear, they're fine. And then maybe 1 or 2. I'm not really sure why it was 6. My tumor was pretty big. Like from front to end, it was 5 centimeters. So maybe they were just, trying to cover their bases, whatever. I used to have little weird, like, almost like it was pulling my skin in certain places where I can only imagine that's where the lymph nodes were removed, because each of those is like little individual surgeries too, that each of those lymph nodes has scar tissue where it was and all of those things. So it's not just the boobs, it's all those individual things with the lymph nodes too. Over time, those have settled down. And since January of this year, it's now August, I have been at the gym, working with a trainer. Every time I go, the gym is next to where I did physical therapy. So it's kind of a one-on-one thing, a bit pricey, but less than half of what I was paying in medical bills. So I'm like, well, instead of paying obscene amounts of money in medical bills, maybe I should invest money so that I don't have medical bills. I still have medical bills, but I invested the money in. I lost 10 pounds relatively quickly. And then if anything, my weight has gone back up a little bit, but it's, they do this like assessment where they look at your body fat and your muscle and stuff. And I can see it in my clothes. Like I'm probably down maybe 1, like pant size. Like I bought a belt. I haven't needed a belt in 3 years. I bought a belt because my pants were falling down. I'm like, this is awesome. Anyway, but I'm building muscle. I mean, I can see it. Can you see my big guns? I don't know. Can you? I gotta get the right angling. Like I do. I see it in here. I see it back here. Like my legs, my quads, my thighs are pretty like hard, and it's exciting. I notice it in my abs. Not that I have a 6-pack. But I can feel, like, even when I just laugh, like I can feel it in my abs, that it is having an impact. And I can't be so focused on the number on the scale, because according to the number on the scale, I'm back up 4 pounds. But I'm proud of myself for doing the gym thing. I'm not like really a gym person. I'm more of like a yoga, hiking kind of person. But I thought I'd try a change in something, because while those are fun and relaxing for me, it wasn't giving me the results that I wanted. And it's not about like getting a 6-pack. It's about my labs. Like my A1C has been creeping up. And granted, my mom was diabetic. But with the weight gain typically comes, it's harder for your body to do what it needs to do. So it's like kind of I gained 35 pounds. So it was a lot on my body, and I will find out, ironically, on Tuesday. Oh, I hope that's not a bad day. Optimism. You know what I mean? Optimism. I go on Tuesday to have, actually, I never even had the blood work done. Crap. I need to ask them how it works. I'm supposed to get my A1C checked on Tuesday, and like that was my big deadline day, that I had 7 months to get my, weight a little bit more under control to see how it affects my A1C. So we will see. I haven't gone to the lab. That's why I'm thinking, I'm going there, but I haven't they don't have the blood to know what my A1C is. Anyway, that's where that's going. But aside from the surgeries and the cancer and stuff, and now I'm kind of talking big picture, my apartment flooded a week after my reconstruction revision in 2023. It was a issue. I won't even get into all that stuff. The short story is a pipe burst in the apartment next to mine. There was an issue with the sprinkler system, and then half of my apartment was just pouring water on everything that I had. So I lost pretty much everything I had. The reason why I say it's symbolic for me to be in this chair is because when I had to move, I lived in a hotel for 40 days and 40 nights. How biblical. And then a friend of mine helped me find this apartment, which is not the same town I was in, which is tough because I wanted to stay where I was, but it wasn't a choice. Unless I won Powerball, it wasn't a choice. So I had to move. I had to stay in a hotel for, a month or whatever it was. And then I was losing my marbles, and I'm like, I have to like do something. And then a friend helped me find this place, which is smaller, but still I've made it mine. And for a while when I first moved in, it was the pandemic still, kind of, sort of. Supply chain issues were a big thing. I ordered furniture, but took a long time to get here. And then even when it was here, I was still healing from surgery. I'm like, I can't put this shit together because, ow. It was just nuts. It's like, seriously, like I have this. A friend of mine made a GoFundMe for me, and it just sounds so sad, but I needed like help. I mean, insurance is being putzes about the whole thing. But the title of the GoFundMe was like, what was it? Cancer, surgery, flooding, homeless. I mean, which were factual, but it sounds like, oh my God, like what the heck? What is this black cloud over this woman? Like, what the hell? And then there's more. So I moved in here, and I had literally like my TV and a folding chair, like a lawn chair that you'd bring to like, a concert or a picnic, not a picnic, like whatever, grass. So much has happened. It's insane. And I was sick of sitting in that damn chair, because while the camping chairs are comfortable, they're not comfortable like all the time. So I just got up and drove to IKEA, and I'm like, I just need a fucking chair. And I had this chair at my old apartment just in a different color. So I knew that like it was a comfortable chair and stuff, and they only had it yet in yellow. I'm like, whatever, didn't even think it was gonna fit in my car. It fit in my car. And then I brought it here, and I'm like, how the hell am I supposed to put it together? My arms hurt. I could have waited to have a friend help me, but I'm like, no, I'm just gonna do it. I mean, granted, this was months after my surgery at that point, and my healing for the second surgery was going really well until I, for that week. Oh my God, it's so crazy. It's so crazy, and I'm so proud of myself because of how resilient I have been and just the journey of stuff. I know I'm gonna run long. I don't really care. Run long, like I'm in a studio. I'm in my apartment in my PJs with a giraffe on my lap. Oh my gosh. So I put the chair together, and it was quite a bit of force to get the sides attached to the back and stuff with one person, but I was just being stubborn and determined to put it together. And slowly, the places come along. There's one piece of furniture, my bookshelf, that I kept. I'm just waiting one day for it just to like fall over. But so far it's been okay. I had to do quite a bit to clean it up again, kind of like me. It had some weird marks all over. My coffee table, you could stick your finger through the wood. It was awful. That was a little bit further away from the water. But I don't know if it's gonna last. Anyhow, I lost a lot of stuff. And you talk about like regrouping and creating the new normal after surgery, and then it's like I have an entirely new normal being in a new space. And mentally that fucks with your head, man. Like I'm not that I'm far away from where I lived before, because I'm not at all, but I'm in a different town, which just means little things. Like I can't go to town meeting anymore with all my people because they're in another town. And it's just the things that, like when you go through crazy like this, you want things that are comfortable and familiar. And my foobs are not familiar at all, nor are they really comfortable. They're there, whatever. You know what's weird? I have this beauty mark right there. I remember when I first met with my breast surgeon, and she was explaining to me like all the stuff that I only heard parts of, and voice memos. Ask the doctors, but voice memo as much as you can just to keep track of stuff, because it's so hard to remember. You'll hear 2 words and then be like totally zoned out. But I remember asking her if after the surgery I would still have my beauty mark. I'm like, I like that I have a beauty mark on my boob, and like, am I still gonna have that on my boob? Because I couldn't picture like, how did they cut boobs off? I don't know how you do that. And like now, I know there's lots of ways that they do that. They don't like cut your boobs off. They scoop your boobs out, I guess. Though it did get rid of some of my skin. And it's funny because when plastics like scooped my cancerous boob and told me like, he's like, this is what you should expect. And like, that was, the conversation. And fast forward, that's exactly what I have. The weirdest thing I think with the implants is and they don't feel like regular boobs. And there's, I guess, maybe a singular pro to that. I don't know. But they're so much more dense. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't feel connected to that. But see how round that is? My own boob would never do that. I don't really care that this is like public right now. Because I feel like some people are scared because they don't understand how stuff works. And like, I'm not taking my top off or anything. There are plenty of sites that do that, although they are hard to find. I've mentioned Jen Rosenbaum before. She does photography for women. I mean, she does photography, period, but she does photography for women who've had mastectomies, and she makes the scars almost like into artwork. She's on Instagram and a bunch of other places, but it's the consistency. I don't know. Like, it's an implant. It's not a real boob. I go from here, it pops up, which might look real pretty, but last weekend I was away and I had an event to go to, and I went to buy some sort of like bra tummy tucking thing, but something that wasn't going to be super uncomfortable. And Spanx, even though I feel like Spanx has a negative connotation with how uncomfortable they are, there's different levels of Spanx. And I have one that makes me look really flat chested because it pushes down all the way. The one that I just bought, where did I buy it? Kohl's, I think. Kohl's? Yeah, I bought it at Kohl's. And it had a bra and then like a kind of a slip to it, but it was Spanx. And the slip part was great. I mean, it was a little, not even tight, just like, you know, kept you, I don't know, it was like one solid piece. But the boobs, the bra part, I've not worn like a regular bra, underwire bra, since all this stuff has happened. And plastics is like, you can wear one. And I'm like, all right, I'll try. So I put it on and it lifts your boobs, but so mine are over the muscles. So the implant is on top of my pectoral muscle. Some people do theirs underneath their pectoral muscle. One of the reasons why my doctor did it over was because if you do it under, you get this thing where like, if you just sit, see I'm crooked now. If you just like sit and you tighten your pecs, your boobs will shift. Like you just go, and your boobs will like move. And I didn't, there's a name for it, I can't remember. I didn't want that. And other reasons too. But so he did them over the muscle. But they just feel different. And well, clearly they feel different. I don't know. I feel like when you, even now, like when you look at it, like, oh, that looks cool. But having it up in that bra, you have to remember you have this like foreign thing that is like sewn to your chest wall. Like I said, I'm not like at one with these ladies at all yet. I'm just not there. But it's a very bizarre feeling, being in the water where they float. It almost feels like they're getting pulled off of your chest. I'm sure over time I would get used to that, but I don't swim a lot. And B, with the bra that I was wearing, like it pushes it up, which looks nice at the time. But by the time it was nighttime, like, I don't know, 3 hours later or so, like it was so sore. And I just like wanted to like, I wanted to just like take it off, but the dress I was wearing was like whitish and you would have been able to see my scars. So I kept it on. But it was so uncomfortable. And again, over time, it will probably ease up. But in general, I find myself to be an impatient person. Which is part of, again, why I wanted to come on, because it's been 3 years, which sounds like a long time. And it's really not. Like, they talk to you, like doctors and therapists and stuff, like, you know, you should just bounce back and go back to being you. And some people do that. That's great. I have learned over this process to be far more kinder to myself and my body than I ever have been. And if that's the biggest thing that you take home today, just hold on to that nugget to just be kind to yourself and gentle with yourself. And your healing journey is not going to be the same as the healing journey for the next person that you watch on, you know, a video or whoever you come across, whatever. As common as breast cancer is, the surgeries are so different, the treatments are so different, the meds are different, how you respond to the meds is different. Like, it's so individualized that you can commiserate, but you can't really compare because everyone's story is so different. And I guess like I should be grateful, which brings us, speaking of grateful, it brings me to this thing, which I want to open on camera. I know what's inside. I bought it for myself. I'll switch out for the giraffe and put this on over here. Yeah, and to add to stuff too, with why I have the stuffed giraffe, my mom passed away 2 months ago. Didn't see that coming. Still processing that. Yeah. So there's been a lot going on with me for the past 3 years. That totally distracted me. It's just weird. It's really weird to lose a parent. And it's August. It happened in June, and I can't quite wrap my head around it. The fuck was I just being kind to myself. Yeah, being kind to yourself, and what to be grateful for is that because breast cancer is so common, there are a lot of resources out there. Like, I'm doing this gym thing now. There's a Live Strong program through the Y, which I've heard phenomenal things about. And maybe when my gym year membership thing is up, I might try doing that instead. Taking care of myself. I wanted to have some coffee, even though I'm vlogging right now. So what did I do? I had some coffee. People put themselves last a lot. I'm not saying to turn into a narcissist. I'm just saying, like, prioritizing yourself. Yeah. And I don't look directly at the camera a lot, which is ironic just because this is publicly on YouTube. But I'm not comfortable with my body at all yet. I feel like my boobs are so wide. The interesting thing is, when I was trying that slip and bra thing on for the event that I went to, I had no idea what size I was. The bras that I have, I got at a post-mastectomy store in New Hampshire, Amanda Thomas boutique in New Hampshire, and they were wonderful there. But mastectomy bras aren't like regular bras. They have a little pocket in all of them that you can slip like a chicken cutlet in if you want. Like, I could have size G boobs if I want to. I could just buy a chicken cutlet and, not a real chicken cutlet, those thingies, and like plop it in front. Because when I look at my boobs, they look smaller to me. But when I tried the bras on, I am still pretty much the exact same size I was before, which is just interesting because they're just shaped so, these boobs are shaped so different from how my other boobs were. And, part of that is just because they're implants and not skin. But my breast tissue was trying to kill me, so it had to go. And I'm grateful to be here. So gratitude. I've been sucking at with the gratitude journal thing, but I've been much better with listening to my body and advocating for myself. I've gone for 3 opinions about this lump, and I get now it's not an oncology issue, but I'm like, okay, what issue is it? So I'm going for, it's not even like 4th opinion, it's just like another doctor to figure out what the hell this is. Okay, fine, it's not cancer, so what is it? And maybe it is my xiphoid process, and I'm like, well, why is it so much bigger than it was before? You have this, fear of recurrence is very real. It's not paranoia. It's being concerned about your body that, like, this happened to you and you don't want it to happen again. And you don't want to miss some sign, you don't want to miss some sign in case it is something. And, like, here's hoping that it's not. Random thing is just with what's around me right now. And then I'll get to opening this. This thing, man, it is literally a pool noodle that's like cut in half. I need to get another one because I kind of squashed this one down. With the weight gain and with like my torso being ripped apart, my back has not enjoyed it. I've been with one of the jobs that I have, when I just turn awkwardly, like my body sits here and I turn this way and I turn this way and I hunch over and I do all these things that aren't great for your body. And I can't really not do that with, just for that job. So that means I need to find a new job. And then, stuff happened this summer and I've been, like I mentioned before, like I've been busy with taking care of all that stuff. But this they use during PT. That I have one of these, I mean, these are nice and small. You can stick it in your back pocket, You can stick it in your purse or shove it in your car or whatever. Or I guess you'd have to have a pretty big purse, but, so you put this like this way behind your back. You start like where your bra line is and just like lay on the floor or something. Like I have a carpet or a rug. And then you just like roll, you stay there and you just kind of let your body like just melt into it. And then you roll it all the way down till about your tailbone. and then roll it up, like slowly. I have certain spots where I have these like really tight areas, and I went to get a massage, and it's not necessarily just knots, it's just tight areas that are still irritated because of, I don't know, how I am with my body since surgery. Out of everything that I have, this has helped me the most. I have a white big foam roller here, which goes the other way. It goes up and down on your, along your spine, and you can just kind of like open up. And it's very, in the beginning, don't do that. It took me a lot to work up to this, but sometimes when my back is bothering me, it helps to like just have it open and just like lay there and melt. This is really hard. It's really like dense. This is like mushable a little bit. It's like a pool noodle basically, but it's solid. This has been great. So like there's been a lot of things that I've, found, and you can look at other vlogs for tips and tricks and stuff. The yoga mat too, while it, whoops, oh crap. Well, there's a pen. I'll get that later. The yoga mat, doing cat-cows definitely help too. And there are certain other movements that help just with feeling better. I find that motivational mugs help. I don't go out to stores and buy these things. If you have a Buy Nothing group on Facebook for your town, I highly suggest that you join it, because you can find all sorts of little fun stuff. So I got this Optimist mug from Buy Nothing, and I try to drink out of mugs in the morning that inspire me or make me feel either heard or less crabby, because I'm just not a morning person. So yeah, the mugs. And good coffee. Like, I don't know. I bought a Keurig when all this stuff happened. I wasn't a huge coffee drinker before, but there's something in the morning about just like waking up, and like right now it's August and like the trees are in full bloom. I have all these plants and stuff that I had gotten from my mom's funeral that I brought home, and like I'm committed to them living. I don't have a great thumb, but I've been taking care of them, and even plants I've had for a long time. Like I got a plant up there you can't see that I got from work when I got COVID in 2021. And now that I know how to actually take care of them, they look way better than they have for the past 3 years. So who knows what will happen. But one thing that I did years ago, I was dating someone for a while, and he was very into books and stuff, and he was a songwriter, and I bought him a really cool leather-bound journal to like start writing songs and stuff again in. And I just thought it was blank a lot when I was there. So I would, when he wasn't like in a great place, I would take the journal and I would write something in there that I loved about him. I know, aren't I the best girlfriend? Anyway, no one's perfect. Anyhow, so I did that for quite a while, and then he didn't notice because he didn't touch the journal. And then for like Christmas or his birthday or something, I wrapped up the journal, and he's like, "That's my journal." I'm like, "Yeah, but it was blank, and now it's not." And he was reading through it, and it was just really like, it was very thoughtful. And then like I was in therapy after, I had been in therapy going through my divorce and stuff, and someone asked me like, do you have a journal like that? And I'm like, no. So fast forward, I went to like Barnes & Noble or something and found a really cool journal, leather bound, like $50. Normally I'd be like, I wouldn't spend $50 on something. For me, like that, it's too much. But if it were a gift to somebody else, I wouldn't think twice about spending $50 on a gift for someone that I love. So I wrote in that journal, anytime someone said something to me that made me feel good, I either wrote it down or I printed it out, or if it was a card, I just stuck it in. So it was like the affirmation gen book or whatever. Unfortunately, that journal did not make it between the flood and here. I don't know if it was tossed. I don't know. Well, it must have been tossed. I don't know what happened to it. It's not here. I've unpacked everything. It's nowhere to be found, which is heartbreaking. And I've tried other journals in the meantime, which you've seen some of them on these vlogs. but I could never, like, I just take a peek for leather bound journals because I don't know, there's something about a leather bound journal. And I really haven't found one. And the ones that I buy, I'm like, oh, this will just be fine. And I write in it one day and then they just sit in a pile in my room. But when I was buying a gift for a baby shower, I happened to come across a display of leather bound journals. And when I bought the gift for the baby shower, they're like, oh, we do gift wrapping. I'm like, that's awesome. So they gift wrapped the gift for the baby shower. And then she had the journal and she's like, do you want this gift wrapped too? It's a gift. I'm like, you know what? It is a gift. It's a gift. I didn't tell her it was a gift for me, but it's a gift for me. And I had the intention of opening this while I was in New York over the weekend. But yeah, I didn't. It's right here. So I thought for my 3-year vlog, 40 minutes later, I would open it. I picked out bright pink flowers for the wrapping paper because I normally would never do anything with bright pink anything because I don't like the color pink. And I especially don't like the color pink since having breast cancer. So I'm going to open this and see what it is because honestly, I bought it. It has been a while that I don't remember exactly what it looks like. The pen that I have, before I forget, the pen that just fell, I think getting like nice pens is important. After I had my surgery, it was hard for me to hold. I'd gotten frozen shoulders, so I was in PT for like a year. And then I knocked my back out. I don't know if that was related. And then, well, similar to why I use this thing. And then I was in PT for another, 3 or 4 months after that. My body's taken a while to rebound fully. But I wasn't able to grasp pens comfortably because when you grasp it, like you're engaging muscles here that just like were hurting. So I bought those like 1980s Bic felt pens. They have a name, like the Paper Mates. I don't know. They have a name. I can't remember, but they're felt. So you don't have to press really hard. And like that pen that's on the floor back there now, it's the pen itself is fine. It writes pretty smooth, but it has a purple amethyst on the top of it. I got that from Therabox. Therabox. I wish I would get like free stuff from them for this, but maybe I should do shorter vlogs and just talk about them. Therabox is awesome. I've had a subscription to Therabox on and off for quite some time, and that was in one of the boxes. Anyway, that's a nice gift for myself too. So I'm going to open up my present that I kind of know what it is, but I don't really. It's like it's my birthday in August. It's not my birthday. It's my booth birthday. There you go. So I'm going to open my present. It's from the Crafty Yankee in Concord. Look at all the endorsements I'm not getting paid for. Look at that. And when I open it up, it's wrapped in paper. I still don't know what it is. Look at that. I will unwrap the paper and see my leather journal. It smells like leather. Sorry for those of you out there that are like, no leather. It smells like leather. So it's nice. It has some nice little like doodaddy things on it. And then it has my little elastic thing. And I like the pages because there are no lines on them. And I like that, first of all, it goes this way and not like the regular way, because this didn't happen the regular way. The regular way is you should be able to keep your body and have it be healthy. But yeah, I like the pages on this. And the quote on the front is from Van Gogh. And it says, "Great things are done by a series of small things brought together." So I thought, as a 3-year cancer-free versary, I'm more inclined to write in something like this, because to me this is like much more of a special journal than all the other ones that I bought. And it took me a while. I've been looking for a new journal. Well, what have I been here now? Like a year and a half. Yeah, I've been looking for a new journal for a year and a half and haven't found something that clicked. And I like the quote on the front because I tend to be very impatient with this whole process. You don't just like have a surgery and you're just right as rain the next day. That's not how it works. And this whole journey has been like a lesson, and patience with myself, my body, my healing, you know, my timeline. That is not the timeline that necessarily that's in my head. It's the timeline that happens with just where your body is. You know, you have control over some things, and a lot of other things you don't. Yeah, I've been through, I've been through a lot. Even just as I look around, and I'm like, my bookshelf reminds me of something familiar. You know, things to surround yourself with, I guess. Like, all right, here's my tidbits before I hit the hour mark, because for some reason I just got like a whopping headache. I don't even know why. Like, nothing just happened, but my head just went. Caffeinated coffee will help that go away. Ow. Things to surround yourself with. Don't let other people, don't let other people's judgments or thoughts impact how you think about yourself. I need to take some of this advice myself. I'm just, I'm just coming from, wow, my head hurts. I'm just, like a ton of thoughts are flowing through my head right now as to like what I've experienced the past 3 years. And thoughts of yourself that are limiting, that like, you know, I can't do this. I haven't done this before, whatever. Like, I'm looking at my plants, and I bought this one plant like at a grocery store because it looked pretty, and I'm like, yeah, it'll last a week or two. And I bought it the weekend that my mom passed. So it's been a little over 2 months, and it has a second layer of leaves, and the red flower is still red. So while I say before I have a black thumb, like if I did, all the plants would be dead, and they're not. That one's growing. And I even bought potting soil, and I spent like $100 on like planters at Ace Hardware. I don't go to Ace Hardware, but I did. And new beginnings are tough, and you got to go with the flow, because sometimes they're just the way it is. Like, I never saw a year and a half ago I'd be living here, ever. Like, I like my new apartment, but I didn't know I was going to be here, and I hope I can stay here for a long time because I like it here. There's peace in nature too. When I say hiking, I mean that can be like a 10-minute walk along a trail. Oh my God, whoever's upstairs is making so much damn noise. But like, I find trees and breezes, and like even finding a bunny hopping around outside, like very calming. And it doesn't need to be this big to do. You don't need like the right camping or hiking shoes, or, you know, the right hiking clothes, or the perfect weather. Like, you can literally go out for like 5-10 minutes just to get what you can get and then be done. You know, if you want to go on a long hike, that's fine. Old pictures, that can be tough, because you look at your old self, and well, I have a whole slew of boxes here of my mom's old pictures that I've been going through, and it's funny to look at my body, even when I was like, I don't know, like in college and stuff, about like how skinny I was. Then I look at my profile and my, you know, my boob profile, and see, like, I'm just like looking at how big my boobs were before, which like, I'm thinking like when I was, you know, 19, that's so not on the radar to look at that. But it's weird to do that now. But instead of comparing, it's a matter of being kind to yourself as to where you are. You know, there are things that you handle when you're 19 that like you're oblivious about, that I know so much more about life because I'm 52, that I could give advice to that, you know, 19-year-old, whereas the 19-year-old would tell me like, you know, you're still here and you can still go dancing, or you can still, you know, whatever. But loving the prior versions of you, and then loving you also. I've done a lot of self-talk through this whole thing. I'm a big self-talker when it comes to like a therapeutic standpoint. And it's almost like you have to separate the hurting part of you and be nurturing to that part of you. That, like, you know, you come out of a doctor's appointment and you're like, you did a nice job today, Jen, let's go get ice cream, which isn't helping with my waistline. But it's not just about ice cream. It's about like doing something like getting yourself a journal, or, you know, just taking the time to go for a walk or whatever. Like, there's a lot of things that you can't do that are limited because of things out of your control, but there are still a lot of things that you can do too. And sometimes it's really hard to see the forest from the trees. Like, really, really hard. I hit a wall back, like, I'm so behind on these vlogs. By the time you watch this, it's going to be like January or something. But I hit a wall around like February, late January of this year, which now I understand, like, I feel like it's hormone based. I was on Lupron injections for 26 months. They stopped. The Lupron was in my body for, I don't know if it's gone. I assume it's gone now. But it was in my system still for a long time. And the Zometa infusions, they're rough. And I just had my last one last month. And that's a big deal too. Because, like, while I'm still on tamoxifen and, you know, still have a surgery down the pike, being done with the Lupron and Zometa are like really big deals. But was there any big deal here? Was there some party to be had? Nope. It kind of came and went. And maybe one or two people congratulated me on being done with my treatments. And I was very grateful for that. And disappointed that some other people didn't just like talk to me like it was just any other day. And I'm like, you know, I had my last Zometa. It's kind of a big deal. But not every cancer patient is on Zometa to get what that's like to be on those stupid infusions. I shouldn't call them stupid because they are beneficial, but they're rough on your body for like a week or something. After that, you're good. Yeah, I had a long list, but this is running so long as it is, and I need to eat some food and have some caffeinated coffee because my head hurts. But just be kind with yourself, you know, just be gentle with yourself. And like I said, when I hit the wall in February, that like I was doing all these things and it wasn't enough. And I was reaching out to doctors like something's up. And I started taking medication in February, which has helped tremendously. And it's a very low dose. It's not an antidepressant. I don't know if I was depressed, but I'm not on an antidepressant. It's not an anxiety thing either. It was very hard to explain where I was. I think if you watch the vlogs around December, January, and you notice that my like my behavior or the way I'm speaking or the way I'm being is just off, that's the best way I can explain why like I started to get worried about myself. Like I was in the corner of the couch, just like not wanting to like get out of the apartment, and that's not really me. And like, why would that happen 2.5 years away out of surgery or, you know, diagnosis? It was just weird timing. So find the things, you know, people, they might not be the people that you expect that have, you know, that were there before. A lot of those people disappear because they don't know how to handle it. And, you know, you can try to be forgiving. I mean, you should be forgiving. You can try to let it go. You can try to, like, you know, once things settle down, reform the bonds. But I'm telling you, for people that disappeared in my life, I've even tried to just forgive and not forget, but forgive and then just move on. And that connection's just not there anymore, which really hurts, especially when it's like family or friends that you've, you know, known or loved for 20, 30 years. And there are people that pop in that you don't expect to be there that are new, important people in your life. Like one of my friends is coming by. Shit, I gotta get going. She's coming by soon. With a caterpillar that's in a chrysalis right now, and it's almost ready to like patch into a butterfly, and it's so sweet that someone would think of that for me. Like, I mean, I've done that before. I've gotten the caterpillar kits and stuff, and then, you know, release them and stuff when they become butterflies, which is just amazing. And I have a lovely like garden thing outside of my in my apartment complex. But again, like one door closes, another one opens, you know. There are certain friends that stick around for all of it. And I have a few of those that are so precious to me. One of those friends I've known since like middle school, and especially with the move when everything became unfamiliar, I'm like, but she's not unfamiliar. Like she's not flooded out. And I would call her just to remind me of stuff. And this past weekend I went down to New York with my the ashes of my mom, and obviously a lot of familiarity comes back because I lived there, I grew up there, but it's still weird, and I was ready to come home and just home come up here in Boston, which is now my home, and you know, and go on to the next step. So I don't know if any of that made sense, but that's what's in my head, and I need to, geez, it's late, get going. Oh wait, I'm reading the clock backwards. It's 11, not 1. I'm like, holy cow, it's 1 o'clock, I'm still in my pajamas. And even if it was, that's fine. You can still be in your pajamas at 1 o'clock, just not like for a week. That's kind of a thing. All right, so I hope I've been inspirational of some sort to you, but I just want you to be loving with yourself and to be kind with yourself and be forgiving, but you know, look out for number 1 so you don't step in number 2. That's what I'm going to leave you with. All right, till next time, everyone.